So let's do a quick role play. I'm going to talk to you about how to convert those that you think are unconvertible. The ones that say, I'm going to have you do it this way. We're going to begin the conversation there with a point of friction. Everybody else I've ever worked with has done it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come at me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be so easy. Don't help me. So that we can kind of get into some of those pain points that some of the people that are watching are going to feel. Okay?
Okay, am I the client?
Yeah,
yes,
you're the client.
I'm the client.
Yes.
All right, I want to hire you for a logo. I know exactly what I want.
Right?
And I want you to do it. So what do you charge? And
Okay. This is perfect.
when can you start? I want you to start very soon.
Gosh, you're so pushy. Are you trying to throw money at me? I feel like so cheap. Okay.
I also am on a very tight budget. So I want to make sure.
Gosh, flirt with me, why don't you? Okay, I actually might even say these kinds of words, okay? So let's just stay in character until I say cut. Okay?
All
So
right.
let's pick it up. Go ahead.
All right, Chris.
Yes.
Saw your work.
Yes.
Love it. And I want to hire you for a logo.
Thank you. I'd love to make a logo for you. However, I don't do it the way we used to do it just a few years back. We go through strategy, and then through that, we find insights into who your customers are and how to help your business. Is that something that you want to do with us?
I mean, that sounds nice, but what I really want to do is get a logo. That's what I want.
You will get one at the end of the process.
Okay.
One that is one that you're not going to have to sit there and question whether or not this is the right decision or not. Because truth be told, design can be fairly subjective. Oftentimes clients will come to us and say, I need a website, I need this. And once we understand who their customers are, we realize the focus shouldn't be on that. It should be on the design of the menu or to design a better customer experience, and that the money is better spent elsewhere. Most of the clients that come to us through our process realize that there's a deeper motivation as to why they're doing this. And what they do is they self-diagnose and prescribe a solution. Now, in the real world, if we went to the doctor and did that, they would look at us like we're crazy. Just give me some penicillin. I have a headache. Well, the solution may not be connected to the problem. And that's why we do what we do.
That all sounds good, Chris, but I see you. You're a logo designer, and I just want a logo. So that's what I want. And
Okay.
that stuff is great and all. We've got that covered on our side and how we do things. And so
Okay.
I just want you to design my logo. I have a general idea of what I want. I already have it sketched out even. So I think we can bypass a lot of what your process
okay.
is.
You already have it sketched out?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just need somebody to execute it for you.
I mean, it needs some brushing up. Like, it does obviously need the touch of a designer.
Right.
But it needs some help.
Okay.
But
Melinda, I'm going to be really honest and really frank with you. Probably even to enter into a conversation with me about doing logos and what I do, we're going to be north of $20,000 to $30,000 easily. From what you described to me, you could probably just hire some young graduate or maybe go onto one of these sites that broker design services, give them the sketch, and then have them just do it for you. You can save yourself a lot of money. It probably costs you a few $1,000s at most. That's probably something that you should consider doing. Why would you need all the stuff that we bring to the table? This doesn't make sense.
Well, can you just cut all that extra stuff and we just go straight for the logo?
I can't. Would you really want to pay for all that stuff only for me to make the logo? If you're willing to pay me the $30,000, I guess I could make the logo for you. But that seems like overkill, doesn't it, Melinda?
Well, and I already know what I want, and I don't have that much
sounds like
time
it.
anyway
Okay.
to go through this whole process and maybe go somewhere I don't even want to go as far as like where you're taking me, where you're talking about. Like, we already
Right.
know all that stuff. So
You're the kind of customer who
we don't
knows
need
exactly
that.
what they want. So you don't need this, you're right. So I can refer a couple people maybe? Is that what you really want?
Well, ideally, I'm talking to you. I really want to hire you.
I don't think you do. I mean, it's like you're saying two different things. You say, I want it fast, I want it cheap, I want it done yesterday. I don't do that. I really don't. And if you look at our work, and I hope you're calling us because you've seen our work and you like it, it's not done in this way. So here's the thing. You ever hear that expression, measure twice, cut once, because you only get one opportunity to cut the piece of lumber?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens oftentimes is clients will make something and feel like that's the right decision without any real parameters to decide why they should do something. And then tomorrow they get a new idea, and now they're stuck with something. And it's not one when you go through and you're making a lot of changes like this, it doesn't exactly send a signal of confidence to your consumers. Like, why are they so indecisive? Why are they changing things? So we get an opportunity to reintroduce ourselves every once in a while. It's not a daily, monthly, weekly occurrence. I would just encourage you to think about that. And if you really want a fast logo, there's lots of different things. Why don't we just hire a logo designer for you? And then when you really want to transform your business and talk about how to grow it, then come and engage with me on that. Because I'm not in the logo building business. I'm in the brand building business. I'm in the client customer acquisition building business. That's what I do.
All right. Well.
How do you feel? How should we proceed, Melinda?
I'm going to have to think about this.
You're all of a sudden so quiet. Let me ask you something.
I came to you for a certain thing, and I feel like I'm not getting it.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'd have to readjust what I'm going to do, because I initially thought I was just going to come to you for the logo, which I still might, but...
Let me ask you something. What business are you in?
I manufacture nuts and bolts.
Okay. You ever get a client or a customer come in and just say, hey, I know you've been building nuts and bolts that last a lifetime forever, but I want you to build it this way. I want you to make it this way because this is the best way to do it. You ever get that kind of customer?
They put in special requests, but maybe not that extreme.
Right. So if a customer did come in and say, I don't think the injection molding or whatever manufacturing process is the right way, I want you to do it this way. And I'm only going to order it once and I need it done yesterday. How would you respond?
Probably similar to how you responded to me.
So that's the problem, you see. We're experts for a reason. We make something and we have a very clear process that gives us very predictable results. And it's like you're coming in here and you want to dictate how we make it and the results. Well, that's not how we work. So as much as I'd like to work with you, it's not a good fit for us. If you have a change,
convert me.
I am.
No.
I'm doing it the whole time. If this doesn't work for you, I understand. You deserve to have a design firm to do exactly what you want. And I also want to work with clients who want the kinds of things that I can bring to the table.
That was a good line. All right. Well, I am still considering this. I would like to continue this dialogue.
Okay.
At a later date.
All right. Why don't we put a pause on this and then circle back if it makes sense for you? I'll be here.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Boom. Okay.
I tried to be difficult.
You were difficult.
Okay, good.
But you're difficult in a single track mind. Throw different objections at me next time and then you'll see.
Okay.
Because you're really just saying the same thing over and over again, so there's not a lot of nuance I can add to it. Usually they change the argument. They give me an opening. And once I find the opening, I just go in for it, right?
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you just literally repeat the same thing over and over again, I'm just like, I would say then, I don't feel like we're making any real progress here, and we're not going to see eye to eye, and I just don't feel like it's a good fit.
Right.
And then I would get rid of them.
Yeah, it's hard for me to build those stories, until I'm actually in a situation. Like, I'm going to try this out, trust me.
Yeah.
I'll try it out, and then I'll start seeing the array of, yes.
That's right.
I agree.
So what we're trying to do here is I'm not here to argue with you. This is the embrace part. If you want it fast, there's a lot of fast options. If you want it cheap, there's a lot of cheap options. Those are all good. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to try and sell you anything. It's like, if that's what you want, go do that. I can't do it that way.
Yeah.
And I try to check your logic, but you weren't giving me much to work with, so I'm like, whatever.
See, I have a certain viewpoint on the logic part.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I believe that we first have to handle why, because people want to do things and decide things on an emotional, irrational level. And then if we don't, and I didn't really give you anything to embrace either. But there's the embracing of, I believe the embracing part is the taking care of the emotions part right? Pivoting is the logic, because we can't come in to try and convince someone who's irrational at the moment. We have to embrace that. We have to embrace them where they're at. Take care of the emotion first, then pivot to logic. Would you agree with that?
I didn't put labels on it in terms of like logic or emotion, because not all of it is emotion based. Someone can just say, I need it done in 2 weeks for $2,000. There's no emotion there. That's a very logical, that's a quantifiable need. It's not always qualitative. Mm-hmm. So the embrace part is just to listen and to say back to them and agree with them. That's it. So I need it fast. You need it fast. You need it cheap, and you just want somebody to do it. I understand. Here are your options. What I do is I have them double down on their thinking. Mm. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you're like, oh, I just hired a great business coach. You're like, you did? Tell me more about this business coach. What have they done? Mm-hmm. Where did they go to school? What have they achieved? And then all of a sudden you start to think, I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe this was not a good business coach to begin with.
Mm-hmm. You're assuming that they don't know.
No, because they usually don't know. People walk around making lots of assumptions and bold statements all the time. All you have to do is because there's this disconnect, right? There's that gut feeling. It drives a lot of decisions that you make. I trust that person. He's a good person. That lady's moving forward. All those kinds of things that they say. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is ask them, why do you believe that? And it usually is enough to mess most people up. Because most people are not that thoughtful and intentional in the things they say or do. They're not. Mm-hmm. They're mostly reacting to life. And this is where we're going to ask them to kind of act and to be more deliberate. That's why that usually works.
Gotcha.
I can pretty much say and argue with you just about anything that you believe to be true and help you to find the flaw in your thinking.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Who's done that with you?
What do you mean?
Who has found a flaw in your thinking?
Oh, you want to go there?
I do.
Is it this kind of episode?
You know,
well, I will tell you something.
I'm just curious.
You know, so here's what happens to me. When I'm being sold to, I enjoy it because I'm listening to like what they say and I'm studying them. My older brother, he's a very analytical person, so he'll ask me lots of questions about what it is I'm thinking. And he's challenged me enough times that I'll sit there and think, is what I'm doing true? Is it right? And so like I'm using now my fictitious virtual brother just asking me these questions. My wife challenges me a lot, and she pushes me into places where I'm not comfortable. I've shared many stories about my wife challenging me. And unfortunately, you know, I'm not always the best listener. It's like, I don't want to hear about it. You're nagging me again. But there's a lot of truth. And sometimes, not always, the bigger your emotional reaction to not wanting to do something, the truer it is. Mm-hmm. You're not ready to face that part of your life. And it's much more comforting to be in this place where you accept it for the way it is. So when somebody tells you that truth, it can be very painful. That's how you know you better spend some time thinking about it. But in terms of in real life, in a client situation, in a buy-sell cycle, or somebody like yourself who's on the show, I've not had too many people who've been able to stop me in my tracks and really get me to rethink my position. Because you know why?
Because you won't admit it. You can cut that part out.
No, it's not true. You can keep it. No, it has nothing to do with me admitting it. Because I give them very little to work with.
See, I'm asking you so I can learn your secrets. So
yeah, I give them very little to work with. Notice, I can't get into a fight with you if I don't take a position.
Right.
My position is to break down your position.
Right.
That's key.
You're disagreeing without being disagreeable.
All I want to do is to ask you questions about your thinking. Yep. And you know what? To be totally honest, most people want to be at the center of the conversation. So I'm playing into your natural desire to want people to focus all their energies on you, right?
Yeah.
So unless I meet another me who's like giving me nothing to work with, it'll be like this weird Mexican standoff. Like, who's going to blink first? A game of chicken.
Or it'd be the best conversation.
The best non-conversation conversation ever.
So this is interesting.
Go ahead.
So you're saying that... Get back in the frame. Where are you going?
I can listen to
He's
you.
hiding. he doesn't want to be asked, so he's leaving the conversation. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So you're saying that if you met another you, it would just be a standoff and it wouldn't be a true collaboration as
No.
just an amazing conversation that you're like, dang.
No, hold on.
Like-
I'm searching all my life. I'm searching all my life to find a good person
Your-
that I can have a conversation
your
with.
debatable
my counter.
soulmate.
Yeah, my debatable soulmate. Maybe you'll be that person in a few years. Who knows?
I'm learning all the
Right?
secrets.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
happy to
see.
share. But the problem is, if you learn all the secrets, then you'll most likely agree with everything I say. Because more I'm downloading my operating system to you, the more likely it is that we will agree.
So you are, in other words, what he's saying is he's trying to brainwash me, and that he's right always. So you would agree with that? Just say yes. See,
I
he
agree.
agrees with
I'm
me.
right always.
Right. So I just got him to agree with me.
Right.
But you're saying that there's no one that is able to make you question your own beliefs.
No. I'm not saying that. A lot of people make me question my beliefs. My children do. My parents do. My wife does. The world makes me question my beliefs, but my business coach does.
Right.
And so that's where, I welcome that. I actually encourage that because I want to learn. If I'm doing something dumb, let's just say like the way that I cut vegetables is wrong.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it the same way all my life. And somebody's like, you know what? If you fold your knuckles this way and you do this, and it's a rocking circular motion, you'll save the blade. Everything will go much easier. I'm like, oh my gosh, hallelujah. That was fantastic. I don't fight that.
Right.
So a lot of people assume because I'm a very opinionated person that there's no room for other opinions, and that's not true. It's not true at all. I'm always looking for a better way. It's part of my sign. I'm a constant improver.
Okay. Then it's there's more
Yes.
questions here.
Go ahead.
Then what would make you have a standoff with your debatable soulmate?
I don't know. I haven't
What is it
hit that
you're
yet, so
why would you, because it sounds like you would embrace what they
that's
had to
the
say.
problem. This is the conundrum.
But you have
It's a catch-22.
person in your brain that if you met, you would have, you're like, that's me. If you met you
Yeah.
and had a conversation, you feel like the conversation would be at a stalemate.
I don't know. Okay, it was maybe a poor choice of words. So here's my thinking, and I fully realize this may very well be the case. I'm looking for somebody to have a really robust, rigorous intellectual debate with, somebody who's well-read, who's experienced totally different things in their life, who can be rational there and come in and we can have this wonderful dialogue and debate, and it goes back and forth, back and forth. I want that in my life because I want to make sure what I'm thinking is right, and if it's not, I want to learn a better way. However, I come to this realization that I think that the more informed you are, the less likely we're going to debate because we're going to sit there full of curiosity and kind of intellectual ideas and be more of a sharing mindset versus like, let's debate.
Yeah.
Because the more you learn, the more you feel like you don't know anything. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's only the ignorant people that I get into debate with, and they're easy to defeat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the more you grow, the more I say something like, yeah, you're right. And then you say something that's totally different from my worldview, and I say, that's good. I like that.
Right.
So instead of debating, we're stealing from each other in a positive way. I steal your idea, you steal my idea, and we both grow.
Right.
And that's why I think this is the problem. I'm not going to find that person because
They don't exist.
maybe they don't exist. Like when I meet other gurus or mentors or coaches and teachers, I'm just there to learn. So I subjugate the idea that I have to prove myself to be right because I just want to learn. And I think intelligent, enlightened beings are like that.
So it sounds like you would have an epic collaborative conversation
Probably.
with your exact twin.
Or somebody that is in the world that already knows lots of different things. I'm good with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.